loves, it's Denise, although many of you know me as Liv. Last spring, I was basically pushed out, thrown out, kicked out. Girl, maybe I just dropped out of NYU. And closing that door opened a new one that completely changed my life, and this is that story. As I mentioned in my last life update video, there is so much going on, so much that I have to update you guys on, and it's going to take more than one life update video to catch you all up, so this is part 2. I'm sharing this story because at the time when I was going through this, I felt completely alone. I felt like I didn't know what to do or who to turn to or what decision was the right one, and this video might be a testimony for someone who's going through the same thing, or maybe it can provide you with some guidance or some ease or all the things I wish I had. So let's get started. Everything kind of started during the midst of the pandemic. I kind of had this overwhelming feeling that like the world is ending around me, and if I don't do all the things I ever wanted to do now, what if I never get the chance to? If you guys have been around for a while, then you know that I graduated with my undergraduate degree at the City College of New York with my bachelor's in psychology, and for the longest I've been trying to figure out what was my next move. Was I going to go to a master's program? Was I going to try to become a psychiatrist or a psychologist? Do I want my PsyD? Do I want my PhD? So many questions, and I struggled with that for a long time. In between that time, I did other things, like I was an adjunct lecturer, I was a professor at the City College of New York, I taught classes as well as making my own class. I created the first CCNY or CUNY school class that was developed around self-love and wellness. My company, the Self-Love Organization, which I am CEO and founder of, worked with a team of amazing interns, and we created a syllabus and curriculum for the first class to fully discuss the psychology of self-care and wellness. And I kind of felt like I was on track, you know, but then 2020 hit and I felt lost again. Like I felt like I was distracting myself from my bigger goal, which was to become a doctor, to have that doctorate degree. And I would see all of my friends graduating with their master's degrees. To be completely honest, I kind of fell into this like post-grad depression. I kind of fell into this feeling of maybe I'm just not as smart as them or good enough to be able to get into my dream school. Now, for some context, my work, my passion is all within self-love, self-care, and wellness. But when it comes down to degrees, there's not a degree in self-love, self-care, and wellness. The closest thing that you're going to get to that is a mental health degree. I felt like I was compromising, or I had to choose between leaving my passion behind and doing what I know was going to get me what I needed, what's going to get me the degree, get me the monies, get me all the things that I need. This is one of the reasons why I didn't know what to do. I've been struggling with this idea of, do I follow my passion or do I follow my career? And this is the fight that I struggled with from undergrad up until 2020, and I graduated in 2015. So now with 2020, it's been 5 years. I've done so much in between, and I'm still struggling with this. And one of the schools that I've always wanted to go to, one of my dream schools, is NYU. That was a school that I always envisioned seeing myself in. But to be completely honest, I always had this idea that maybe I just wasn't smart enough to get into that school. After some prayer, after some journal work, after some soul searching, I decided that it's time for me to take myself seriously. That maybe I don't have to compromise between my passion and the right career choice. But then I found the Gallatin School. It was there that I found that I don't have to compromise on self-love and mental health. That all the work that I've been doing, all the classes I've been teaching, the research, the curriculum I've been building, all the things, the business I've created around this, all the things that I've been doing, I could mix both of them together. And I can get a master's in interdisciplinary studies. When I tell you, I never felt more confident in my life. I saw that and I was like, this is for me. This is what I'm supposed to do. And for a little bit more context, basically what the Gallatin School is at NYU, the interdisciplinary school, is that you can basically use different disciplines. Like you can mix things like philosophy and education, or in my case, mental health and wellness, or mental health and self-love. And you can kind of put those two things together, or three things. It really matters on what works best for you. And you can put all those things together and basically make your own master's degree. When I found this out, I felt like I've struck gold. I was like, sis, this is for you. You've asked, you've prayed, you've manifested, you've waited, and here it is. This is for you. And it was at my dream school. I was like, you know what? This is for me. I shut out all of the things that were distracting me. I put my head down and I wrote. I wrote my personal statement. After I sent it in, I prayed, girl. I prayed, and a couple of months later, this happened. Hear me out, mom. Look.
Congratulations! I am delighted to inform you that I have been oh my God,
admitted to the master's program.
Oh my God! I told you could do it.
Oh my gosh, mom.
Breathe again.
Congratulations, I'm delighted to inform you that you have been admitted to the Masters of Arts program at NYU for fall 2020.
NYU, baby.
What? And to put icing on the cake, I got a scholarship, sis. There's so much more that moment meant. I'm a first generation immigrant's kid, college student. To be able to climb up this ladder and get up to this next point is, all I can do is thank God. Then reality hit me and I realized how expensive NYU really is. And although I've conquered the hurdles and obstacles that I and my insecurities put in place, I've jumped over all of those hurdles to be faced with a bigger one that was beyond me. Although I've gotten a scholarship, and although I've taken out the largest loan that the school could offer, it simply wasn't enough money. And I was short a good amount. And yes, I applied for more loans and more financial aid and all the things, but it wasn't enough. I decided to let go, let God not make it stress me out, and focus on the good in my life, which is I finally get to go to grad school. I was so proud of myself because I was going to be the first woman, the first Black woman to get a master's with a concentration of self-love, self-therapy, and the Black mental health experience. A master's that would have allowed me to mix the two things that I'm extremely passionate about, self-love and mental health, to create a tangible way to be able to teach a curriculum in which Black women can learn how to heal themselves and the generations and families, communities, and cultures that they lead and support. I come from a family where my grandparents never knew how to read and write, so this was an achievement that was beyond me and goes above me. Now, the whole time that I'm going through school, I know that I have this large balance due, and I know that if I don't pay it, I probably can't continue. But I just kept thinking to myself, I didn't get this far to go back. I didn't get this far to not make it. I just had it in my heart that there had to have been a way to fix this problem, and I was going to fix the problem because I always got me and I always make it work. As I was preparing to continue my studies and apply for my next bachelor classes, that's when reality really hit me. Because it was in that moment that I knew that if this bill was not paid, I could not continue. And this dream would have to come to an end. And I fought it, and I reached out to financial aid, and I reached out to my professors, and I reached out to my advisors, and I called the dean of the financial person, and I did all the things. I reached out to everyone that I feel like I can possibly have reached out to, and I wrote as many emails as I possibly can, and I kept thinking to myself that I could not be the only person that's ever gone through this. One time on a phone call with Bursar, I asked them, is there any way I can do a payment plan? Maybe I can pay it out of my savings. Maybe I could, get another job or another part-time or do more influencing work or something so that I can pay this bill. Could I pay you monthly? And they basically told me, it's either you pay all or you can't go to school. I remember feeling so crushed and defeated, and a large part of me felt guilty and embarrassed. I kept thinking to myself, how can I have made it get this bad? Is there anything else that I could have done? But the fact of the matter is, I simply do not have enough money. I've taken out all the loans that I possibly can, and for a minute I had to kind of tell myself, Denise, you did all that you could. And I remember being so angry and just like talking to God and kind of asking him, like, why did you bring me here? Why did I get this far to go back home? Why did we get this far, Lord, to now turn back around? What am I supposed to do? The whole time I just let go and let God. But I honestly, to be fully transparent, I felt angry with him. Like he let me down. I felt like I had so many people rooting for me and wanting this for me and excited for me and supporting me. And I felt like I let all of those people down. And after all the phone calls and all the emails and all the reaching out and all the meetings and everything that I did to make sure that I could continue my studies, the first day of spring semester came and I was in class. I felt like I took 10 steps forward and 50 steps back. I felt like maybe I wasn't on the right path. This whole idea, this crazy idea of mixing mental health and self-love and turning it into self-therapy, something that can be taught so that Black women can heal, was just an idea that was beyond me. I felt like maybe this was my sign to give up now. I felt so alone because I kept thinking to myself, I didn't get kicked out or pushed out or had to drop out because I wasn't good enough or because I wasn't strong enough or because my research was, inadequate. It's simply because I just can't pay for it. And that was such a hard pill to swallow. It all came down to, you just don't have enough. And it hurt so bad. It hurt so bad. And to be honest, it still hurts now. I felt so embarrassed, I didn't even want to share what was going on. I have this amazing mentor from my undergrad. I don't know if I should say her name on camera, but I absolutely love her. And she has been my #1 supporter and guide throughout this academic world. And I called her and I asked her what I should do, and she basically told me that first, before you do anything, before you decide what you're going to do and what's next, and maybe share this with other people and etc., the first thing that you need to do is sit in it, and the first thing that you need to do is grieve it, because what you're grieving is a dream, a life, a career, an idea, something that meant a lot to you that you were pursuing that no longer can continue, and that's something that you have to grieve. When she said that, I instantly started bawling. All the feelings of guilt and shame and doubt and fear and all of those feelings were just living inside of me, and I felt like I was going through this alone. I felt like no one at NYU was trying to help me. I was basically pleading out to them, and they were just like, and it's just, it hurt. So I grieved it. I grieved it for what felt to be almost a month or a month and a half. I prayed. I journaled. I did all the things that I could possibly do to help heal me in this situation. And I had to grieve it like I was grieving a loss of someone, because that was a whole part of me and a whole part of my career and my life and my dream that I had to let go. During my journaling, I had to kind of check myself and basically say, who are you to be mad at God? What if this is your story? What if this is your path? What if you don't need that degree to be all that you want to be and to achieve all the things that you want to achieve? That maybe this is all a part of your story. that this is a chapter in your story, and one day you're going to tell this story with so much pride, just as much of the pride that you had when you finally started that school, when you finally started that degree, when you were going to your dream school, with just the same amount of pride, but maybe even more. You're going to tell this story and inspire people who are going through the same thing as you, to let them know to keep going, that God is faithful and He always has a plan. By this point, it's been a month of me grieving and being in such a low state. And to be honest, what took me so long is because I was never at peace with it. I kept feeling like there was something I could have done, or that God could have done, or somebody could have done to fix the problem. And I had to be at peace with it and understand that this is a part of my story. And yes, this might not be the chapter that I want to write or read, but it's my story. And I finally decided that I need to continue letting go and letting God. That just because it didn't work out in my favor does not mean that He's abandoned me. And I remember journaling, saying to myself that if this is going to be my chapter, the chapter of me crying and grieving ends here. Finally at peace, no longer swimming in sorrow or guilt or embarrassment or shame. I started to finally tell people what was going on. And it's almost kind of as if I like mentally and visually closed that door, closed that book, ended that chapter, knowing that if there was something greater out there for me, that it will come and that it will find me. This is where I need to share something extremely important. Something that I have been living by is that I need to prepare for my blessing so that when they come, I am ready to receive it. New month, new Monday, I'm telling myself I'm gonna allow myself to rest and sleep in. As I'm resting, I get a DM, and that DM, let me tell y'all how the Lord is good. That DM was from a sis who I've done an event for in the past, and she was just basically sharing with me how much she loves my work, and she loves what I do, and if there's any way that she can support me, let her know. I decided to let her know, like, yeah girl, I have this business, I would love if you can share it. I have a journal coming out, I would love if you can support that. And then I decided to basically say, and if there's any way that you can make my dream come true, to be a TEDx speaker, let me know. Girl, I just threw it out there. But let me tell y'all how the Lord is good. She says, yes, I actually do know a way for that to happen. Please send me, it'll be a short turnaround, but please send me your speech and I'll see if I can get it approved. There's a TED Talk that was supposed to happen during the pandemic, but due to the pandemic, it is happening this year. Are you down? Are you ready? Are you prepared? Sis, prepare for your blessings so that when they arrive, you are ready to receive them. I have been creating my TEDx speech for years. I have been pitching it for years. I have been practicing it in my mind for years because it is something that I've always wanted and have always tried, but was always denied. I've applied so many times and never gotten through. And during those times, I just kept working on my research and my work so that the next time I apply, I'll have a better chance. I basically had everything ready to go. But today I am submitting my TED Talk speech and hopefully it goes through. Now sis, I'm manifesting it. I claim it today that I am going to submit this TED Talk proposal. It is going to be accepted and I am going to be giving a TED Talk. I applied and for the first time in years, I was accepted. And I finally accomplished my lifelong dream of being a TEDx speaker and giving a TED Talk about Black women, self-love, and mental health. There's no way I could have done this and gone to school. Maybe the reason why I had to put a break, put a pause, stop entirely, maybe the reason all of that happened was for this door to open. And with a crowd of the most important people of my life, I got on that stage and I did it. I did my TED Talk on Black mental health, Black woman, self-love, and wellness. And I wanted to share this with you because I know that there's other people that are going through the same thing, that feel confused about what their life is supposed to be, or wondering why doors were shut on them. But sometimes doors are shut so that others can open. What's made for you will be for you. And that's something that I learned through this experience. It all happened so fast. I didn't even get a chance to come on YouTube and share any of this with you. So I'm sorry that this is so late, but if you're interested in seeing how my TED Talk went or seeing what I spoke about, then you can check it out up here and also down below. I really hope that this was a helpful video for you all and kind of give you an idea of where I've been and what I've been going through and why I haven't been here as much. But since you are looking at a TEDx speaker, an ex-graduate student, and I am proud of all of the things. I really hope that this inspired you to keep going, keep pushing, and to trust that you are on the right path. I accomplished a lifelong goal that completely changed my life. I'll keep you guys updated on if I go back to school, if I go back to NYU, if I skip it completely and jump to get my PhD or my PsyD. But I did create a GoFundMe down below if you guys are interested in helping me go back to school. But if not, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, please don't be shy to give me a big thumbs up, comment down below, and sis, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and never forget to live in love with you.